Here we are.
Here we are, Kirk. What was your message to me today? Do we want to say this out loud?
It's so rare for me to do this that I'm not ashamed of it.
Say it.
Uh,
I'll say it.
I'll say it. I sent him a text message and I said, I believe all it said was, I don't want to think today.
Correct. We all get that, right? We
Out
all
of the
have these
blue.
days.
It's been a rough 2 nights of sleep. I'm dragging a bit. I've been up since like 3:45.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it'd be nice to have something lighthearted today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it would
Do you
be.
ever have those days?
Yeah.
Actually, you did not too long ago. I think it was off mic. What did you have going on? You told me like you were either coming back from being sick or something.
The kids had been sick. I had been up late, really late, and we had karting. And I was just like, I made it through the weekend and we were ready for a training Tuesday. And I was like, can we just do a Q&A or something today? Because I'm just going to have to lean on you.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't want to have to be relied upon to be sharp.
Okay, well, it was a version of the same thing.
Yeah. It's like our version of let's just do paperwork today.
Oh yeah, all right.
Except this is better because
It's way better.
this will be fun. Paperwork sucks.
Yeah, paperwork does. I don't mind a simple task that doesn't require a lot of thinking. Actually, I would probably be all right on like an assembly line if I had to.
I've always thought that about myself as well.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
As long as I was enriched outside of that in life and was stimulated elsewhere, I could probably handle like a
Okay, so
menial
I thought
task.
about what jobs I would want if I wanted to have the type of job where you are only there to collect a paycheck and do as little as possible so you can do as much as possible outside of that.
And what job would that be?
I've thought about toll booth operator
Mm,
at night. A posh gated community security guard.
it's a lot of standing around in one spot.
I want to be sitting at a desk, being able to read a book or write or work on other things while I'm getting paid to do something mindless.
I worked on my uncle's farm growing up
Hmm.
in high school, and he would put bales of hay would be thrown onto the wagon, and then he would escort them up on like a belt into the loft, and he would just throw them on, and they'd get up in the loft, and I would stack these things like Tetris bricks, like
Hmm.
70-pound bales of hay all summer, and it was in the loft, and it was hot, but it was so gloriously simple,
Hmm.
like bale of hay falls. Kirk pick up bale of hay and put it here. And doing that on repeat, it was like both physical, which I loved, and it was like there was no thought required. And I oddly enjoyed that perfect balance of like working hard, but like I had no
Hmm.
thinking to do. That was a good job. $5 an hour, and he fed me lunch and dinner. That was always talked about. It was important to know that he fed me lunch and dinner, and that was a perk of the job at $5 an hour.
Yeah, that is. The
Yeah.
two most like satisfying, mindless, enjoyable jobs I ever had. The first was my going from senior year to freshman year of college, high school to college. I worked as a helper on a maintenance construction crew for a nonprofit. And then the next 2 years, I gained their trust and was allowed to take over all landscaping and mowing for their properties. And they owned like 54 properties.
It's a great mindless job.
But it was too big for one person. So I was allowed to hire someone. So I hired
Who'd
my
you
best
hire?
friend.
Nice.
And all summer, we took this old Dodge HD van out and took the mowing trailer and we just drove property to property and we mowed and we trimmed hedges and we de-wasped roofs and that's all we did. And so you drive for 5 to 25 minutes, relax, eat your lunch, your snacks, everything during that time. So we never took a break. And then you get out and you'd work for up to an hour at a time and then you get another break. And so it's just like all day long, mindless, listen to music, talk, BS, but you never worked hard for longer than an hour at a time. It was
That's like a
great.
young man's perfect
It
job.
was great. We'd sometimes bike out there as our workout to prior, do that, bike home, and then we'd lift or go play basketball or something. It was just like a great summer. And then the second one was I worked for the water department for the city of Lake Geneva for 2 summers when I was in college, 2 or 3 summers. And I just drove around each morning to each well house and collected the water samples,
Mhm.
and went to the water towers and collected the water samples. And then I would sand, scrape, paint the well houses and the reservoirs and flush the hydrants. And it was
You're
great.
one of those guys. Yeah,
It was
there's
a
always a team
great
of
summer.
kids flushing hydrants somewhere in the summer. I always remember seeing that.
Yeah, that you literally open it up, you put the box on the end of it, and it just flows through until it flows totally clear, and then you sit for 10 minutes
Yeah, yeah, it was a
until it's
city
clear.
job. That was a city job too. They would actually pay better than like if you worked at a local department
For
store or
sure.
something. Yeah, it was like a good that was like a good summer job.
It was.
Flushing hydrants in the city of Green Bay, for sure, it was a good city job.
Yeah. So those 2, again, like, they're mindless, but just stimulating enough, but you work and then drive, and then work and then drive, and the days just flew by.
You mentioned something about clearing wasp nests or hornet nests. I
Yeah.
found myself in a nightmare scenario on Tuesday.
Okay.
Well, I told the story on our training Tuesday about how I got kicked off the high school track and I'm no longer welcome there. And we don't need to rehash that. So I'm trying to figure out where to go. And I'm mad, if I'm being honest. I'm like kind of pissed and I'm kind of grumpy. And I'm like, well, now I'm on a time crunch because I had to get there and get it done. You know, it set me back and whatever. And I said, oh, there's a middle school track. I saw it on Google's map. So I went to it. It's cinder, not even cinder, whatever, gravel with dandelions growing in it and stuff.
Mhm.
Anyways, I'm like, fine, let's go do it here. This will be novel, if anything. And they had one lone porta potty that looked like it'd been there for, I don't know, decades. Like there's nobody around. This is a desolate place. And I go to use the bathroom after my warm up, and I open it and close the door, and there's like a hornet in there with me. And I was like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? And I try to open the door to like the hornet must have got in there with me. And then I look up, and in the porta potty is this giant hornet's nest. And I swear by the hundreds, they are like about to be on me
Mhm.
in a porta potty. Can you imagine? That's how non-used this place was. I mean, there had to be dozens of hornets buzzing in this tiny little porta potty. I thought the wrong person stepped into that, and I didn't get
Yeah.
stung miraculously. They wouldn't make it back to their car. They got to take care of that.
Yeah.
Anyways, trapped in a porta potty with a hornet's nest.
That's good.
Not good.
My nightmare, it was literally like being stuck in a nightmare, was that summer the final thing we had to do that summer was get all the wasp and hornet nest out of the roof. So like they're by the chimneys, they're by the vents on the roof, inside some of the exhaust pipes that, the come up from whatever the heating system or the air conditioner or whatever it is there. And then under the gutters, any place a nest will be, we were in charge, and there were like 32 properties that had them. And he sent us out with like a dozen cans of wasp spray.
That stuff doesn't work.
I mean, the good stuff does. It kills it, and some can keep it from coming back for like up to a month. But
Gasoline
point
works.
is, gasoline's good.
Yep.
We went through it really quick, and we had to come back and get the card and buy more. And he got mad at us. He said, "This is it. You don't get any more than this." Like I don't know what you're getting mad about. A, this isn't your money. This is the company's money. And B, how else are we supposed to do this? So we had to start rationing it out and using as little as possible. We got to the point where we were out with 2 roofs to go. We had no more left. And there's this little stand pipe that came off. It's like 3-inch PVC pipe. And we'd come up and we'd tap it. And if you heard buzzing, then you'd check into it, and you'd down there somewhere, and you'd spray down and then whatever. So we heard buzzing, and we didn't have any spray left. So we had like a metal sheet we used to scoop up the grass clippings when we get them into a pile. We put that sheet metal over the top of it, and we'd whack the pipe a bunch and then crack it open a little and smack any, like let 1 or 2 out and smack it on the ground and step on it. And we had to do that over and over until the wasps were done, because we had no spray left, and we couldn't come up with a better idea than that because we were
Gasoline.
dumb kids. I also didn't know where that standpipe was going down into. So anyway,
I used an entire can of wasp spray once on both an out of ground like comb nest and an in ground nest, and both times didn't do the trick. And then I poured gasoline down the ground nest, and that was the end of my problem.
Did you light her?
No, just it was. You can't survive that.
So we get to the second to last property and we put our 30-foot ladder up there. It's an apartment building. It's on the second floor. I get to the top as my buddy starts up the ladder and I walk over and just kick this thing and it goes woof, and they come up in a cloud instantly. I'm like, get back down. I run to I can't get to the ladder in time because you have to stop and pivot around to get off the roof onto the ladder. And I can't do it without getting stung. And I'm getting stung.
You got to jump.
I'm like 35 feet off the ground.
Okay, don't jump.
So I start sprinting around this apartment roof. Luckily, it's very flat up there. It's like a commercial roof with just enough pitch to be dwelling, whatever, code. And I just run laps, swatting like a crazy person until I think I've built up a cushion or knocked a few down. And then I would try to get to the ladder and then they'd just like swarm me and sting me. And it just kept going on and on. And eventually he gets up there with a leaf blower and is providing enough air that I can get down. And I got stung like 28 times on my chest and back.
Yikes.
It was a nightmare. It felt like I was up there for hours and I wasn't, but it felt like a nightmare. And ever since that day, if I get stung, I get a giant welt and it itches and hurts. And it's like a thing now.
You'll never be the same. I got stung by 7 at once because I literally had to count the stings, and I haven't reacted the same since. Like now I'm like super sensitive. Yeah. That's how people die. Getting chased by bees on roofs and jumping off because their instincts just want them to get away, or like swerving on the road to miss the little bunny, but then you run into a tree with your car and that's it. Like these those things like you could never predict.
I had my shirt off. I'm swinging it like Petey Pablo, trying to keep those things off me. It wasn't working. It was a bad day.
This is probably a good way to kick off an AMA episode, I guess.
Yeah. So anyway,
this far in without
put up a poll. Not a poll. We just put up a question on Instagram, and people gave questions for us to answer. That many of them aren't running related. And if you haven't caught the drift by now, this is not going to be a super serious, like learn a lot of stuff episode. So.
You don't consume as many podcasts as I do.
No,
I don't think. I probably have a dozen in my rotation, most outdoor related. I'll chime into a running podcast on occasion, but I realize like at times I do want to learn, and it can annoy me if I'm not, but at times I really don't want to learn and I just want to be entertained. And I'm okay if once in a while I'm exclusively entertained with very little learning. I don't know about you. But for me, like, I don't mind an offshoot episode once in a while, even though I'm there to learn.
Lisa came back from her run the other day and said, I just finished listening to your Training Tuesday after the Tyler episode. She's like, and it was a great intro. You guys haven't been doing intros in a while where you just talk about yourself and your lives. I was like, oh, great, they're doing it. And then after like 10 minutes, I was like, stop being so sciencey. Like, I don't want to learn today. Just talk about stuff. So it's interesting that we're all cycling together right now.
We're all cycling together. Is that like a menstrual joke?
It's a reality.
Okay. Menstruation joke.
All right. Should we kick it off?
Yes.
Let's kick it off with a bang. What's one thing that annoys you about the running community?
Oh God. I have two, and I have two, and they're both Strava related.
Yeah, we don't have to limit ourselves to one. What's everything that annoys you about the running community, Kirk?
Could do our whole podcast on that. I think we could easily do that. And we're all from the same cloth. So people who feel the need to name every single run they go on with some stupid, clever sentence or saying, even some of the pros do it, and I hate it. Like, dandelions and daffodils abroad, or like everything has to have a name, and it's fine. I don't care about the name. That drives me nuts for some reason.
Okay.
Would that bother you? And like the ones that are super like vague or ominous, like let it be known. That's all it says. Like, what do you mean let it be known? You went for a 10-mile run at 8-minute pace. What do you mean let it be known?
I will say that I'm a curmudgeon. Just about everything annoys me.
No, who's bothered me the most is Dakota Lindworms. Can I pull
You're about to start joining their track group.
I know, but okay, maybe I won't. Do you not want me to read some of them?
No, I don't think we need to go down that route.
Cut it out then. I don't care. That's funny.
Oh, goodness.
You think that's funny? Why is that so funny to you?
Because you love her as a runner. You constantly compliment her workouts. You're about to join their track group. You're probably going to be pacing her at some point or hanging on her shoulder. And you
I
just
can still
dox her
like her.
Strava.
Yeah, I can still like her as a human, but not like the labels.
Yeah.
What's one of yours?
I mean, this is not just the running community. I cannot stand self-important fitfluencers who think that they're better than they are.
Elaborate.
Who
I
think
mean, I
that
know what
the
you're saying.
entire world is hanging on every post about how their run went and how fast their cut down went. And it always has an excuse in it, like, really crazy that I cranked down that much today, considering I did 8 yesterday. Or, wow, really didn't think I had it in me because I just had a really tough conversation with my mom today, but I still managed to PR this Strava segment, hashtag whatever. Like, everything has a built-in excuse. It's all self-glorifying. None of them are fast compared to real runners. And when I say real, I mean pros. All right. So I'm
Careful
including
there.
us with slow runners.
You
We
had
are
to
slow
walk it
runners.
back there. Walk it back, Brakken and Kirk.
If I were an influencer, I would be a slow runner, a slow influencer, because I'm not a pro runner. We are all slow. We just had a woman break 14 minutes in a 5K. We are slow. You're slow. They're slow. Okay.
You know what's funny about that is
Stop
I'll see a YouTube
promoting.
series about like how I ran 14:30 in the 5K, and it's like a guy in his 20s, and he probably made up 2 minutes of time over the last few years and did really good. 14:30 is so fast. I won't even bother watching that because you didn't run 13:30. You certainly didn't break 13. It's like 14:30 is so fast. Yet I'm like disinterested in watching normal guy do it.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know
it's
why.
not even like that's really honorable. Great.
I agree. It's probably great content. It could
But
be.
you're not impressive.
Well,
so stop being self-important.
oh my gosh, just bashing.
Yeah. Anyway, and then they all have something to sell that is absolutely useless. The thing, like, they had a breakthrough and it was because of this one thing that it was absolutely not because of, but because people follow them and people are in general dumb. Like, our population is in general a dumb population, like any other species. There are very few exceptional people out there. People just follow it and buy it.
We're gonna lose some listeners if we keep this up.
No, this
Brakken.
this podcast is
All you listening are
self-selected.
dumb. That's what you
Not
just said.
them. I
Oh,
mean,
not
in the bell
them.
curve of humanity, 50% of people are below average.
I think runners are above average intelligence across the board compared to other pursuits.
I think that this podcast is self-selected, the elite of the elite intellectually.
Yes, only the smartest are drawn to us.
That's
for
right.
Sure. Okay.
Anyways, I cannot stand that trend. And the other thing, I'm going to keep booting people off our bandwagon. I am so tired of people complaining about not receiving blank after a race for participation. Currently, the thing is for people to complain about not getting their patches after a High Rocks race, or that the patches are lame for this upcoming year. I do not care about your participation award. Your
you
patch,
never have. You had we had a convo on this very podcast, like how Brakken will just like literally get a trophy and toss it in the garbage. You don't care about those things. It's really interesting.
Because I'm slow.
No, like you have all these Spartan race plaques and stuff that you just couldn't care less about.
Well, yeah, I believe it's very, I believe it's super egotistical to hang on to things to show other people how good you are. I keep, though, things that are important to me. I keep race bibs. I keep timing chips from races that impacted me as an individual that are important to me. But winning a race is not important unless the process, there was something important about that. I think I've been around long enough to understand the fact that making a podium doesn't mean you did anything well. Half of the things I ever podiumed in my life, I lucked into. I didn't do anything good on that day. Some of the things I did best on, I got stomped on those days. I don't think that it's a one-to-one correlation. And I absolutely don't think that an adult human being should care what the patch on the new High Rocks patch looks like and feel like it's being cheaped out or it's not up to their standards. I will never align myself with that.
Well, being unhappy, I never got a grandma's marathon finisher T-shirt or medal, Brakken.
Well, a finisher T-shirt, yeah, you can wear that around. If you wear your medal around, there's something
Justice
fundamentally
for Kirk,
wrong
man.
with you.
I didn't finish the race.
Oh, that's true. You don't deserve one.
I don't deserve one.
I'll buy you one,
I
Kirk.
never got my medal
And
of
it'll say,
teacher.
I'll Sharpie
Almost
almost
finisher.
onto it.
Please do. See, I disagree with your take on this
I know. I'm not saying I'm
immensely.
right.
I think most do. People wonder. So if you look behind me, you can see there's like European deer skull mounts on
Mhm,
like for decorative, and I am a guy who has like deer shoulder mounts in
mhm.
my house. And honestly, it's weird. That's a weird thing to do, and I acknowledge that. Like, that's a bizarre thing to do. Hang animal things that you killed on your wall. However, when I look at them, it is like looking at a picture of a processor or memory and then drawing it out tenfold. I remember what the morning air smelled like and the day with my wife or friends and what that represented and the hard work I put in all year to get there, much like, and so that deer on the wall represents a lot more to me. And not, we can stop out down that train, but I think medals or awards very much can do that for people as well. They don't do it as much for me as that deer do, which is a bizarre thing, but they still do that for me in some capacity. So it
I
reminds me of that.
I understand that completely, and I agree with you. The difference there is that you went out and got that for your process for yourself.
That's
You
true.
crossed the finish line at a high rocks or a road race or whatever, and your time and your experience are the thing you went out and snatched from the universe. And whether or not a volunteer walks up and hands you something that everyone else there gets or not has no bearing on what you take away from that race. You took away a skull because you went out and got it. I would
I
never
went.
do that myself, but I understand that you earned that skull. Everyone who crossed the line gets the exact same patch. Everyone who goes hunting does not get the exact same rack.
It's true.
So I am not saying I'm correct. This is something that annoys me. Someone just made another post this week in a High Rocks group of, "Oh, have you seen the patches? This feels so cheap. Blah blah blah. I can't believe they treat us like this." Like, you paid to go race. They gave you a race. You got a time. If you need the same patch that every other person got to justify your existence as a High Rocks athlete, I think that says something about you. And I'm going to judge you for it.
Getting in should be enough. It's like winning the lottery, even getting a slot at
Oh
any
my
of these
goodness, that's
races
a whole
anymore.
nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. Okay, before we probably hurt everybody's feelings who's listening, let's move on.
All right. Favorite sunscreen brand for summer running? How's that for a pivot?
The floor is yours. I'm not a big sunscreen user.
All right. My absolute favorite of all time is the Up and Up brand from Target, non-sport. The
Huh.
sport version is always, to me, greasier and it
Greasy.
has bigger droplets that come out. Where the Up and Up brand, non-sport specific, has a really fine mist that comes out, and it just seems to cover me better and not run as much. Even though I know sports designed not to run, it gets into my eyes more than the non. I also like baby spray sunscreen. It's delightful. And the Neutrogena brand as well.
Anything that's expensive and made for your face, put it on anything else and it's going to work nicer and better and not run as bad. That's what I've noticed. Way less greasy. It might cost you a little more per application, but I find that's otherwise you walk around. That's the only thing one of the only things that like bring me back to grandma's marathon start line is everywhere you went, it smelled like banana boat. Like everybody was so worried about, like, I was like, this smells like sunscreen everywhere. It
Banana
was the
boat is
worst.
delightful.
That's not delightful. It's like, why is everybody wearing banana
Not to
boat?
wear it, to smell it.
It's weird. I don't know. No place had us. Is that like, I don't know. If you had to run a race, would you put sunscreen on beforehand? A race like that?
I some places, yeah, like my
You
my
in?
my neck, back of my
Back of your
head.
head?
I'd have a hat on, so I wouldn't need it on the front. Maybe a little nose, little tips of my ears, and then back where the hat doesn't I can't get that crescent burn again on my head. You saw that. I sent you a picture, right?
I did see that.
That's
Yeah.
unacceptable.
He had an upside down smiley face
Ugh,
where what that gap in the back of like a snapback hat is.
that was bad.
Oh,
That was
that was
from my
good.
afternoon at the track.
I avoid sunscreen at all costs. I'll just limit my sun exposure if I feel like I'm getting too much. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone likes it.
Yeah, I really don't like it. That's it. We can
All
move
right,
on.
we will move on. How do you two think you would have done on the Spartan Games? Now, for those of you who don't know, the Spartan Games was like a reality TV show. Not really, but kind of. It was a series of physical competitions put on by Spartan Race that had some bearing to Spartan Race, but not a lot of bearing to Spartan race. So it was like a swim. There was a short course obstacle race. There was Atlas stone lifts. There's a trail race. There's all sorts of things to go
Mountain
on.
bike ride.
Yeah.
Deca Strong, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
Short course obstacle course race, right? Like multi-loop format of the same things over and over.
Yeah.
That actually looked pretty brutal. Yeah.
So should we double down on making people not like us today and say we would have done really well?
I think both of us would have done very well. Yeah. I don't want to say
We would not have
win.
won.
But I think it would have been in the conversation for like a top 3.
Top 3 to 5 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just because we're well-rounded. We're not too big. We're not too small. We're both move like athletes.
Yeah.
Can move weight in the gym, yet have pretty good acumen across many, I would say, sports maybe. So yeah, I think we did well.
Each season I watched it thinking, I don't think I'd win this, but I'd probably be like right from 2 to 4.
That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
But that's arrogant.
Well, no, it's not, because they took like, here's a really strong guy. Let's see how he fares. And here's a really skinny, weak guy, but he can run really far. And those far ends weren't the ones who they never did that well. It was like, here's Ryan Kent, or here's Ryan Atkins, who is obviously quite strong, but also has great endurance and good sport acumen. It's like, okay, like the guys in the middle and the girls in the middle did really well.
And my data point is I've done 2 Spartan combines and won them. So I think it tested a similar skill set.
Gosh, those were good years. Like Spartan Combine was a thing.
Those
Can
were the
you
days.
imagine? Like that was, people cared enough, and Spartan cared enough to put on a Spartan Combine. Oh, has it gone south?
Can I just describe what the Spartan Combine was to people?
Sure.
This was when OCR, when Spartan in particular was full blown claiming they were going to get to the Olympics. And they wanted to put on a Spartan combine, like an NFL or NBA combine, where they were testing out what would make athletes great at Spartan race. And I was in on the development of this, and I pitched all the ideas for what it could be, and most of them were rejected because it wasn't sexy. It was like, have them run for an hour. Have them do a 15-15 treadmill challenge. Have them do a vertical K. Like, it was testing things that would matter. And instead, do you know what the events were of the Spartan combines, Kirk?
Yeah, it's like max dead hang. Okay. Which I guess is sort of
that. It was max pull-ups at dead extension.
Okay.
We started with a 40-yard dash.
I did see a max dead hang, but it must have been a different combine after yours.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
That was a different one. So 40-yard dash, standing vertical, standing broad jump, 30 burpees for time, max pull-ups with full extension. You couldn't ever hang for longer than like 1 second in between. There was a 1.5 mile time trial. There was max spears to hit in a minute. There were like 5 spears stuck in the hay at each target. You just ran up, picked them, and threw them. No string. A 400-meter bucket carry, like full stop. That's it. There was an 8-foot wall, max reps in either 30 or 60 seconds. Atlas carry. It was Atlas carry down like 5 burpees back, max lengths in a minute. It was all these things that rewarded being an athlete and had no bearing other than the 1.5 mile time trial on actually being good at OCR.
I feel like I saw a video of you doing like a short course, something real fast somewhere.
I don't think we did any of that. No.
Like you had to hurdle walls.
No, there was one thing. You started outside the rope climb up out of the water, and you ran into it, climbed up and down, and got out of the water for time.
Oh, it was some quick short. Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
But.
Anyways, had no bearing on OCR. But like, what does your 40-yard dash matter for any endurance sport or vertical jump?
0.
So anyways, that's why I won, because it had nothing to do with endurance sports.
Congratulations. Did you keep that medal?
No, they gave you as like Thor's hammer, and they wouldn't let me bring it through airport security. Like, are you kidding me? I can't bring this. You're like, no, but you could check it for $99. I'm like, you can have it.
I would have paid the $99.
I don't respond well to those type of situations.
All right. Fair enough.
What do we have next? This is the greatest accomplishment in fitness this is to me, Kirk, is my greatest fitness accomplishment bringing Raw Debo together. Raw Debo is the the celebrity name for, I mean, it doesn't even make sense, celebrity name, but it's Marcus Wallace, and then it would be Dawson Miller. But Dawson Miller's Instagram name is Raw Dog Mills, and Marcus Wallace is nicknamed Debo from the movie Friday. So Raw Debo is their team mononym, celebrity name.
And you brought them together?
I was not aware of that until this moment.
Okay.
So
way to
yes,
go, man.
Yes, that is my greatest. If I was responsible for that, yeah, it's certainly my best hybrid accomplishment ever.
Well done, Brakken.
What's the craziest workout you've done in college, high school, or OCR?
Crazy through what lens? That's a tough one. The craziest. I think back to a crazy workout. A version of the KDE workout within the long run at the ski hill is probably one of the more demanding sessions ever. I remember in prep for my first Spartan Race World Championships, it was carries mixed with drags, mixed with tempos on flat, mixed with then going back up and down the ski hill. And you would basically go up and down the ski hill for, let's say, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then you would do a 2-minute carry and you'd run back up the ski hill. Then you'd come back and do a drag into like a 5-minute flat tempo. And then you just repeated that at like a long run effort forever. And I got in my last one over 20, it was 21 miles. I sent this to you. You said, I've never seen something like this before. It was 3 hours. It was 3 hours and I got 20 and change, just shy of 21 miles. And it had like 3,000 feet of vert in it and carries. And I think back at that workout, and I definitely left my race there, by the way. Yeah. But also, I was like 3 hours of that. What?
Yeah,
that one stands out to me. I don't remember what that was called, but it was a mix of everything, and I totally swung too hard on it.
Yeah, it's hard not to. You get into that, and then you just grind.
Yeah.
Crazy in terms of crazy, just like you look crazy. I did a workout like that, but it was runs, carries, and crawls. It was before my first Spartan Race World Championships. I had been, or my second, the first down in Texas kind of counts, kind of doesn't, but I've been really exposed at carrying through gnarly terrain, like downed brush and river banks and stuff like that. And the crawls, they both really exhausted me. So I did a 2.5 or 3 hour workout that was just like threshold runs for 1 to 2K at a time, and then like 200 to 400 meter carries and drags through rough terrain, and then barbed wire crawls, fake barbed wire crawls, bear crawls, and rolling on the ground. But to stimulate bad terrain, the only place I could really find and trust was the county brush dump. So these people would back up their trucks and just dump all their yard waste and brush and branches and stuff. And then they'd have a dozer come out and just push it into big piles. And that's what I was just like running through and carrying and dragging stuff up and over all the, like a nature dump. And I look like a crazy person.
I'm surprised they didn't kick you out of there.
They didn't care. This is out in the country. You can do whatever you want out there.
I'm trying to think of like any traditional workout, like a pure track, like running 40 by 400 meters on my birthday. Like that's still pretty much in a box.
That's crazy.
Very standard though. Like it's not crazy.
9 by 1,000 feet gains on the treadmill at 30% or 25% or above was that's kind of a crazy workout to do.
Was that a pre-Killington?
It was pre-Ireland when I was going to do the Seven Sisters before that fell through.
God, 9 by 1,000 feet of gain at
9 by K
incline. That is
easy peasy.
I'm trying to think how long that would have taken. Like that was probably 2 hours worth of interval.
At least 2.5 hours of work.
Yeah.
I took 90-second rest, and all 90 seconds each round were spent changing.
Out in dry clothes.
Yeah, I was just so wet.
That is way more impressive than 40 by 400 meters. What was mine? 45 minutes of work.
Yeah, but you averaged like 72 seconds or something.
70 and change, 70
70 and
high.
change. All right, I ran a 70-second 400 yesterday in the workout that I did at the track, and I was like, this is freaking cooking.
Remember when that just used to feel like a yawn fest back in the day? 70 you could do in your sleep. Next question.
But not anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna lock in 9 by 1,000 on the treadmill. That's a dumb workout.
It's an impressive workout, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What shameless act have you performed to ensure a run happened?
What shameless. Does anything jump out to you right away?
I can't think of any specific times, but I've absolutely lied to people.
Yeah, I've done that plenty.
Like, probably even to people I care about or love.
Been late to an event because of work, but no, I had to get my long run in, or I had to do this.
Or, hey, I can't make it. Kids are sick. Gotta make this Strava activity private now.
I've canceled on clients in the gym. Like, hey, I can't make it. I'm not feeling good. I can't get there in time just because I was running behind and my run was more important than
I guess that would
person.
be it. I've canceled on people,
Mm-hmm.
Blamed it on family, not emergencies, but semi-emergencies in order to get a workout in. Not any time recently. Not anyone that I've worked with right now.
Although I will
back
say,
when I was actually caring about training.
If I'm forced to, like, let's say it's a weekend away and you're kind of with the family or like your in-laws or whatever it could be, like sometimes I will purposefully leave like a longer effort that gets me away for longer.
Okay.
for that day. Like, I'm gonna probably be gone for like 2-3 hours. Is that okay?
Just to avoid Jess's family. Got it.
No, it's in other circumstances, just to get my own space. Like, it's what I got to do. I'm going for a 100-mile bike ride today, I guess. I'll be back in 5-6 hours. Done that once. Yeah. Does that make you a bad person? No, it's a good way to be balanced and live your best life. You need your own space on those trips.
You do?
Yeah. Those are tough.
If a vegan swallows a bug on a run, are they still considered vegan? I don't know, but I bet they'll tell you about it.
Yeah, they're still vegan.
Yeah. Veganism is a choice. They didn't make that choice.
They most likely had eaten animal products at a previous point in their life. This one little mishap.
They get to be a born-again vegan starting now.
No. I don't know where bugs fall on the scale for most.
I think if you're a true believer, if it lives, you won't eat it.
Like the non-honey eating vegan, for example, because it animal product, animal slavery or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Let's not go too far down that one, huh?
No, let's not. I've said enough today, Kirk.
We know where to pump the brakes.
What's the worst running shoe you ever bought and why? I have a fast answer. Almost every running shoe I ever received from Reebok back in the day, because it was made by Reebok and they were horrendous at the time. Their trail running shoes circa 2015 to 19 were the worst running shoes I've ever had. I didn't buy them, but they were the worst running shoes I've ever put on my feet.
It's funny because then you'd see like Cody Moat or Hobie Call like choose to wear them after that contract was done.
Yeah. Now the all-terrain supers worked for my feet, so I liked them, but their actual shoe running shoes were just terrible.
Yeah, the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro is the worst running shoe ever made. I will die on that rock forever and ever and ever and ever. It's a horrible shoe. I also bought a pair of this. I swear to you, this had a defect in it. This was my going into my junior year of college. I had just come off 2 great seasons. Went to nationals 2 years in a row in track. We were national champs in cross. We went to Colorado for the summer to train. Got a job at a day camp. We lived in a little cabin on Bussy Hill, right outside of Rocky Mountain National Park. Did that with some buddies on the team. It was great. And we went into Boulder, Colorado, and they sold me on like a tempo shoe, the Adidas Rotterdam. I don't know if you remember the Rotterdam. And I loved that shoe. It was light, fast, it had probably the best foam at the time from what I remember, because it gave me something. This is 2003.
Is that like a built up Adios?
I never wore the Adios.
Okay.
I wore the Supernova and the anyways, but this shoe had a defect in it, and it had like a lump on the outside of the left shoe, like underneath like my fourth metatarsal, which is where I ended up with a stress fracture. And I loved the shoe, but I was like, I felt like there's a pebble in the foam inside. I couldn't get at it.
Yeah.
And one day that metatarsal cracked, went from feeling fine. And then on that run, within a matter of 100 yards, I went from fine running a tempo to I can't even run anymore. And that went from the best shoe I've ever, at that point, I was like, this is the best shoe I've ever worn. And I swear to you, there could be actions filed because it must have been a mismake. And I'm 1000% positive it's that shoe's defect that gave me that stress fracture.
That's rough.
I mean, I can't imagine I'm alone here. That's probably happened to other people.
Probably.
Did you ever run in the Rotterdam?
No, I didn't.
Really liked that shoe. And the Nike Skylon, those two.
Oh, they were so good.
They were so good at the time. Those were like my fast trainer shoes. They were awesome.
Yep. I would say any trail shoe with a plate that didn't work functionally is the worst shoe I've ever run in. Like if the plate doesn't work for you, it is the worst shoe you can imagine. Because even a normal bad shoe that doesn't have great cushioning or feels weird doesn't actively make you worse and make you feel terrible on every single stride. But trail shoes that are plated either work or they are the worst shoe you could ever wear. Looking at you, Nike Ultrafly, I should say.
Nike Milers were also a horrible shoe.
Oh, I can't believe Rich Ryan could run in those shoes.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad shoes that have been made. A lot of great shoes too, though. This question wasn't about great shoes.
Nope.
Do you remember the shoe? Actually, okay. I had one of the worst runs of my life. The Reebok, speaking of Reebok, the Reebok DMX.
I had the DMX in high school.
And they had air pods, like air bubbles that you could feel in different places. The DMX 6, and it was like under your forefoot. There'd be some in the heel, and you could push on them, and they'd almost like pop, not pop, but like it was an air pocket. Wouldn't you describe it like that?
Yeah. I love them.
You did?
Yeah. I think nowadays I would hate them, but I put them on and I thought, oh, this works for me.
I remember my first run, my calves both locked up on me so hard I had to walk home because that air bubble push off in the front was like I couldn't handle it, and I think I didn't have a cell phone.
Okay. Yeah. Worst running shoe of all time is the Nike Shox.
The Shox. Was that a running shoe or just
they had a running version? Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the Shox.
Nike Shox. Full stop.
That's a good one.
Haven't listened in a long time. Well, then I'm not going to answer your question, Corey.
Yeah, what do you that's a bad way to lead with a question.
What's your go-to race trail shoe? I've been loving the Tecton X3. I can't even I have a different trail race shoe for every single distance and circumstance, but the X3 is a great shoe.
I think the whatever road super shoe you can get away with on the trails.
Yeah,
that's
probably
the best trail super shoe.
Yeah. I still love the Salomon Pulsar.
No shoe they got it right with. I think the VJ Max, they got that shoe right for a lot of people.
The twos?
The twos, correct.
Yes.
The twos.
I would agree.
Fantastic. In the Tecton series right now, I have the twos. I don't have the threes, and my twos have treated me very well. That would be my fail safe. So I agree with Corey, non-listening Corey.
When in doubt, tell poop stories. Thank you, Jack Bauer.
Good.
Do any company shirts actually keep you cooler in the heat?
They all do once they're saturated in sweat.
Yeah, if you can get them soaked. Yeah.
Right?
Maybe not if you're in incredibly humid places.
I don't think there's a shirt that can actually claim that, because if it's hot enough and you're sweating enough, they all end up in the same place, clung to your body, either trapping heat or dissipating heat once they're fully saturated. I haven't found a shirt that would really negate any of that.
You have the DeSoto cooler shirt. You have companies that have used cool black or cold black, that material, things that claim to reflect more or retain more. Wet is wet, honestly. And No.
What I even find, like they make like some of the compression tights. I was just told Brakken on our run together this last weekend. Like I haven't been super pumped with my options, so I said I'm gonna buy like the nice pro or expensive version of these different brands and test them out. And first of all, yeah, it's worth the money. The material, the way they fit, the way they stay up, don't give you like diaper butt. They like just work great. Like I've experimented with 3 now, and I'm 3 for 3 on like yeah, I would
And
definitely
what's
buy
the
them again.
cheapest one?
I think the cheapest one was $70, $79.
So much to spend on a pair of compression shorts, all right?
But if let's say you buy 5 and you rotate through them every week, like you're good, like for a long time.
Better be.
But
For over
right,
$300.
we buy 1 pair of shoes for $300. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm finding them to be very comfortable and worth it. But some of the claims will be like, well, this moisture wicking fabric or this breathable or this whatever, like none of that is noticeable in compression shorts. Like once you sweat them through, it's all the same. It doesn't matter how light or heavy that material is or what it's made of. Like wet is wet. That's how I feel about that. There's nothing
Wet is
worse
wet.
than
That's our
wet.
takeaway.
Yeah, wet is wet. All right.
There. If you could be a dinosaur, what would you be and why?
Triceratops.
Really? You would choose something that could be eaten?
Yeah, I just always liked it as a kid. It was my favorite dinosaur. It had horns. It had that nice plate that covered its neck, so like T-Rex really couldn't get at it. He's kind of a badass. You weren't on Team T-Rex as a kid. Like that was the one. I was the bad guy. Cool, but the bad guy.
I wouldn't choose T-Rex either, but I have useless arms.
Does Megalodon count as a dinosaur?
No, and in fact, the two I'm going to choose, my kids will be quick to say, were prehistoric animals, a prehistoric flying reptile and a prehistoric marine animal, but not a dinosaur. But I would choose either a mosasaur or a Quetzalcoatlus.
Okay.
The largest sea animal or the largest flying animal. No natural predators. Both swimming and flying are exceptionally fun, and I wouldn't have to get eaten by anything.
The Quetzalcoatlus? The Quetzalcoatlus?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like I don't know, it's like the size of a bus. Not quite that bus, a short bus, but flies.
What's going to mess with me? On that short bus. Okay. No, I just always enjoyed the
not technically a dinosaur, as I'm going to have to remind people I understand
Were
that.
any flying dinosaurs in quotes during that time technically dinosaurs?
I don't think so. I think they're prehistoric flying reptiles.
Okay. Well, they were labeled in my books as a kid. They were dinos.
Yes, they were.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sticking with that.
Okay. Good luck.
If you could be friends, never mind, not if you. Would you still be friends if one of you was an elite athlete and one wasn't? Yeah. Our relationship. It's funny because our relationship is based on running, but our relationship's not based on running performance.
You mean like how much we like each other depends on how fast the other or slow the other's running?
I probably like him less as he gets faster and faster. Because I lose the power dynamic. And I still like him.
It is an interesting thing, though. Like, I came to you as a student initially, right? And so it's an interesting thing. I don't know about you, but I've had athletes I've worked with that now coach themselves. Like they coach others. Like they have a coaching business. It's always an interesting thing. Is there ever any animosity? Like I coached some then, not OCR, but I coached. But is there any, I don't know. Does that feel weird?
With you, not at all. No.
There are some people, weird?
For sure. Not with us. But for sure, there are some people who leave you and go and start coaching, and it just doesn't feel right because you've seen the way they think and act and use reason and think that doesn't belong anywhere near anyone else. We don't want to let that out into the world. But you had a pre-existing training business. You were already a coach. You had been a high school coach already. You were a college runner. You thought rationally about things, and you just hadn't done OCR yet.
I would like you more if you were a pro.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. That's my cool fast friend Brakken, I would say. I would say to everybody, I'd say, yeah, he's got a sweet Reebok deal, and he gives me some of his old shorts sometimes. and some of his old
Some of
shirts
them
and
weren't even
ties.
old. I know that was
Bracken
always important to you that I had worn them first and not washed them.
Bracken used to give me some of his old stuff he didn't need from like your Spartan sponsorships early in our friendship. You were still getting gear,
Not old.
and
It was just they'd give
you gave
us
me gear.
stuff and
My
I'd pass it
favorite
along.
pair of shorts to race in, you had just given me.
Yeah, we got 2
They
of
were,
them. You got
yeah,
1.
yeah. So I wish you would go back to those days. Could you not get yourself a contract?
It's impossible to look at yourself totally objectively, but I'd like to think I'm the type of person that won't change with success or lack of it.
You haven't changed one bit since I've known you.
I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
Brakken, and whether you like that or not, it's probably gonna be the same whether I'm a millionaire or famous or not. Everyone says that right up until they become that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll find out someday.
Hopefully, like if I have to lose you to gain the world, not worth it.
You'd be a big hot shot racing manager.
That's right.
Yep. Came up from lowly West Allis, karting, learning, on the internet, to big, strong, fancy car guru Brakken Kraker. That's your way. Honestly, that is your one avenue at this point.
That's it. That's all all I have left is now my son. the route to athletic success no longer
And here
runs
we
through
are.
me.
That everybody has that realization at some point.
In fact, the top message on my phone right now is karting related.
Well, it doesn't surprise me either.
No. All right. What has been the most rewarding thing to have come out of starting the podcast?
There's a long list, actually.
Yeah.
The most.
I don't know if I can have a one thing, but there's probably, I think I could narrow it down to 2 or 3. No, I can choose one. I can choose one, Kirk. Can you?
Why don't you start? If you can definitively choose one, I'm going to think on it still.
The single most rewarding thing is when someone messages us that we weren't aware of what was going on. Like we weren't actively helping them or working with them or coaching them. And they give us the story of, I was doing blank and it wasn't going well. And now thanks to the podcast, I have now just done blank and it was great. Whether that was getting through injury or running a PR or, improving their happiness in life through training, whatever it is, when someone has gone from point A to point B and they give the credit, or at least in part, to the podcast, that is the single most satisfying and rewarding part of all this.
That's hard to beat, but that message will give you the most warm and fuzzy.
In that moment, nothing tops that.
That's pretty good. I will say, from a selfish perspective, it's allowed to truly make my passion a career.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the intent. I mean, when we started this podcast, is it 5 years? 5 years now?
Yep.
Yeah, 5 years. Over 5 years, right? 5 and change now. I was, let's say, 3/4 time in the gym working with clients, and then 1/4 time coaching. And now I am 3/4 time coaching and 1/4 time trainer. And I've always liked the gym and training in that regard, but I like coaching more. And I didn't expect to grow. We didn't expect to grow like we, I guess, necessarily had, but it's allowed me to be like a coach, like a full-time coach. In fact, if I didn't have to go, I don't have to go to the gym anymore. I could exclusively coach. And that is so fun because I enjoy what I do. And how rare is that? Pretty rare. So that was a non-intended byproduct, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yep.
And I, of course, agree with you with helping people, but it's been nice. You were at a point with your coaching where you didn't know if that was going to be your sole, because you had split from leaderboard.
Yeah.
And like, you weren't sure if this was going to be your thing to make a living or not full time.
No, this was just pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, so we started January of 2020, and COVID was just in rumblings, and then it dropped hard that spring. So just pre-COVID.
So that early spring, I was spending my time on my Chromebook in the sunroom where Toby, our bunny, now lives. And I was sitting there on our little ottoman there, building our website and filling out teaching applications. and I called our district. I don't even know what her role is. She had been my point of contact in my hiring, and she's basically runs that version of it in our district or oversees it. And I never heard back from her. And like 3 months later, the podcast gained traction. And for the first time, I made more that next month than I had the month prior. Because during COVID, I lost 50% of my income overnight. Like within 30 days, 50% of my clients were gone, and it was up to 70% within 3 months. So like I was just decimated, and the podcast stopped that, and then it turned it around. So that directly changed the trajectory of our family.
And that was literally when we started this. There was zero discussion about let's try to make money or get busier or gain athletes to coach. That was not discussed one time. It was let's just have fun with this and chat and interview cool people and talk about running.
Yep.
There was no business side. There was nothing. I don't remember one. Do you remember one conversation?
No, I think the point was early on made, we're not going to try to monetize this because it's going to change how we have to talk about things. So let's just not even worry about that. If we get to the point where we have to start selling ads or whatever, let's do it. But here we are in year 5 and we don't sell ads and we haven't monetized it. Yeah, we sell our training plan on here, but we've managed to keep it as, I think, about as pure from outside influence as you can possibly keep a fitness podcast. Yeah, it's been very, very much a rewarding process for so many. We could do a whole episode about how rewarding it's been to have this as our occupation. But for me, it's those messages.
Became good friends. We were friends, but
not like this.
How often do you talk for multiple hours a week to one of your friends, like in real adult busy life? Never. I don't. I talk to you. You're number 2 behind Jess. That's it. It's simple as that.
We wouldn't have been at your house for your wedding without this podcast.
Yeah. My third person I interact with is so far removed from you and Jess.
Yeah.
It's the gap is I can't even quantify it.
It's Lisa, you, and my parents, since they live next door.
Sure,
and then the gap is large.
Yeah. Large.
Yeah. In fact, now that gap, next in line is probably like someone from the track, because we'll spend 8 or 9 hours together at the racetrack on the weekends. And that's for one day of racing. Oh, maybe soon. 2 weeks, 2 track workouts.
High Rocks homies.
All right. What's your favorite non-sport related movies? We've done that. I can't pick one. I'll change it. What's my favorite sport related movie? Rocky 4.
I mean, just pick one that comes to mind that might catch people off guard.
For sport or non-sport?
I don't know. Not non-sport.
Non-sport.
Tough. There's so many rolling through your head.
I'm just a big movie person. It's like asking me to say what kid do I like the most.
And I'm not. I was movie when I was younger. Like everything for me is nostalgia these days already. Like it's like I go back and listen to 2000s rock or alternative, and I watch Can't Hardly Wait again because I own it and I loved it. Like,
I've never watched it.
Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt, come on. Seth Green.
Yeah, haven't watched it.
So good.
So I guess this can be a disappointing question for a lot of people.
We
could do an episode. I could do a movie podcast. That's what I could do.
Oh, you should do that.
I should not do that.
You should do that.
That seems like a saturated market.
I wanted to start a deer hunting podcast, but the bandwidth is a little low.
You should do that. We'll have a back and forth conversation, but you're only going to be talking about that, and I'm not going to be answering that. I'll be responding with movies. That'd be terrible.
That'd be a very, very niche, like deer hunting, movie loving.
Oh, this is a good question. Outside of the U.S., which country do you think you're most well known in?
Oh, Canada for sure.
I suppose that's easy. Okay, outside of North America.
Well known, like in the running public.
I would say the most. I'm going to answer it as the most people know your name.
How about this? People you've worked with or that you think either reach out about the running public from other countries or that you coach, would you say like this country? I think there's one obvious one, and then from there it gets
The obvious one is the UK.
the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. From there, I would say it's either Mexico or Australia or New Zealand. Just because there are dedicated OCR communities in there that I've interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to a race in New Zealand and we put on like a little seminar. And Australia, everyone knows everyone in the sport of OCR. In Mexico, like Angel and Chikorita, Moritz Lego, and Christian Scherf and I would interact throughout the years, and they are known by everyone in the community and just by association.
Yeah. Kind of like, do you have any like very foreign athletes like that stand out to you? Like I'm working with somebody who's in Kuwait, for example, which is like not very typical. Hong Kong,
Maybe Dubai. I would say the Middle East. Probably I've coached several. A lot of them were expats from other, not necessarily the U.S., but yeah, Middle East probably. I've interacted with a lot of people over there.
Yeah, I've worked with like 6 people from China or Hong Kong, which they're different folks, and all of them are expats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although not one American expat in Dubai have I worked with, or Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. Anyway.
Anybody with a language barrier?
I have never worked with someone with a language barrier, no. Have you?
Kuwait. It's very broken communication. Yeah.
That sounds frustrating.
No, it's not. We, from the start, yeah. For our phone call was like we understood, like we half understood each other, and that's okay. Yeah. It's great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Didn't expect that question. Good job. Karting and deer hunting aside. Next. Karting and deer hunting aside, what are your most wildly off-topic YouTube follows right now?
Off-topic. I follow Patty Doyle and Drew Binsky. They're travel guys.
Okay.
And it's just interesting. I like to learn about where we want to go next. Patty Doyle, Drew Binsky, both are very entertaining follows. They do a nice job on the travel side.
If we're being technical for subscription, like subscribing to the channel and following, I don't have any that aren't karting or running.
Really?
Yeah. But in terms of, I would say that comedy, stand-up comedy or comedy specials are the things that would be the next most Googled after running, karting. It'd be that in the UFC.
There's some fun series out there if you like the outdoors. People like, I'm going to put this stake in the woods and put a camera on it and see who visits. And then they're like, I'm going to dump this pile of Skittles here and see who visits. And like, you can just like watch what visits, this food they put in the woods. I've spent many, many, many hours on that. It's very interesting.
I would have judged that pretty hard until COVID lockdown. And we sat around my mom's table doing puzzles 7 nights a week with the laptop open with the Peregrine Falcon live cam.
Oh God.
Streaming from was it the US Bank Center or building remember. Somewhere downtown Milwaukee had Peregrine Falcons that nest there, and they were having babies. One day we look over and they're mating, and the kids then had to have a conversation that night, and we watched that thing for hours during the pandemic. So I guess I won't judge you anymore.
I don't think they mate in their nests. That's like their bedroom. I'm pretty sure
they were practicing.
Big raptors, they fly and then they like attach their cloacas and spin towards the earth until they almost crash and separate and then do it again. They don't do it like you'd originally, like a doggy style, like a dog would.
I mean, I didn't bring up doggy style. You did.
I'm just saying, right, somebody fact checked me, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't work that way.
Maybe she had an itch on her back and he was flapping his wings and gyrating his lower body to scratch that itch. Maybe she had mites. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there's no audio. We couldn't ask them.
Oh, okay. They didn't speak English.
Point is, I watched a game cam for months, Kirk, and was enthralled by it. So I can now hear you say that without judging you too hard.
It's okay if you judge me. I don't really care.
I know, but I'm not judging you. but I would have.
Yeah, it would literally be like, let's put this Stouffer's lasagna on this rock and see what happens. It's like the dumbest thing. It's just like very entertaining. And it'd be like the things you least expect. Like this snake found the lasagna. Weird. It's just fun.
This is going to be our shortest answer.
All right.
You ever start a run and just think, this is the wrong underwear for this? No.
No.
No, because that's the first thing I do when I get ready for a run is I grab the underwear first.
Okay. Do you only wear running underwear?
Yeah.
So I don't always. And in fact, I have like brief lined shorts like that I'll wear for easy days. And sometimes just like don't even take off my underwear to start with. Like I got like sport boxer briefs on. I'm like, screw it. And then you put the lined and it's all jumbled in there. It's like a lot of support, too much support.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't put myself in this situation. So my answer is no, I don't. It sounds like
there's a
you
whole
might,
sector
Claire.
There's a whole sector of people who, like even men, who like put on their compression shorts and they don't have anything. They don't have underwear on.
Yeah.
Like you just don't wear underwear under your compression shorts. Like I can see it if I look. Who does
we look?
Like put on some underwear, man.
How would each of you do in the decathlon? Moderately well.
Well, terrible. Are you kidding me?
Terrible now.
I mean, compared to like
college,
people who do the
mid-pack.
decathlon. Yeah, mid-pack. You'd probably fare better, I feel like.
Like I could jump, but I can't jump for a jumper. I can sprint, but not for a sprinter.
What would be your worst event?
Pole vault.
See, and I think that would be one of my stronger.
Oh, if you trained for it?
Well, no, I
thought we were just jumping in.
I played around in high school with it, and I actually felt like I should have done pole vault.
Gotcha.
But I didn't.
Yeah. If we trained, my worst would be the shot put. I'm not. I feel
like the hurdles would just not go well.
I ran 400 hurdles a few times in college.
That's so different than timing your steps and jumping with efficiency. Maybe not. For me, I think the hurdles of all things would be bad.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe jumping. We just would have hit our limit.
You see how tall the men's hurdles are? Like men's pro hurdles are like up to my belly button. At least. They're high.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to have a decathlon?
No, I mean, I put on a distance decathlon in college.
I remember Rubus was there.
Rubus was there. He won a singlet. Point is, no, I mean, decathletes are better than us at every single event, except for the 1,000 indoor and the 1,500 outdoor. That's the only event that we'd have any sort of parity in. And we'd crush them in that event.
And by the way,
us in most of the others.
The women are way better at the distance events in the decathlon than the men compared to the pros. Close. Yeah, the women can just run an 8. Or they're
running 2:0.
They're running so fast, and the men just don't touch pro runner times. But the women, like, impressive.
Yeah. The decathlon is the perfect example of if you want to be strong and powerful and explosive, you will just not be a great runner.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not much you can do about that. So I'm under no delusions of grandeur about my athletic ability. I'm athletic for a runner.
Right.
Not for an athlete. Let's see. You have one day to take in 50 units of the following: miles, beers, donuts. Split up however you want. What are we doing?
We have to pick one?
No, you have one day and you have to complete 50 servings
of each.
Miles, beers, donuts total. Split it up however you want. This is really, really easy.
It is.
I think you run as many miles as you can semi-comfortably run.
Then whatever's left,
and then just eat a few donuts and drink a few beers. Yeah. I mean, you could just go run 50 miles and be done.
No, I think like right off the rip, like you could wake up and have 2 donuts, no problem. So there it is. Like 2 donuts, that's my pre-run fuel.
Yeah, my donuts would be my breakfast.
Right. So you could have your donuts. So you at least you got 2 down.
Mm-hmm.
I think you run. Let's call it 10 to 15, 2 more donuts. You run and donut it out until you don't want it, and then whatever beer is left, you beer it up. Yeah.
But the miles are going to be the bulk of it.
Yeah, I think you almost play it by feel. The donuts are your only fuel.
If I just wanted this to go well, I would do a 50-mile race and be done.
Think about this though, like there's the whole like IPA mid ultra, like you could have a plan. You could actually have a donut beer plan. You could have a beer an hour. You could have a donut or two an hour. You might be a little rumbly, but like you might be able to get away with like 30 miles of running and 20 beers and donuts. Maybe
Yeah, that's
5
just so
beers, 10
many.
but I think you could actually do it. Like if you just did it, you could be done in 8 hours, 10 hours, and
I would
still have,
lose my palate for donuts and my tolerance for beer before I would lose my palate or tolerance for running.
have like a Michelob Ultra, mostly water, low booze.
35 would be the minimum I would do running.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure a way to make it all work, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to get drunk. You don't have to be hungover, and your stomach doesn't have to hurt. And you got a productive run in.
Yeah.
All right.
That or you run a 50K and you party afterwards. Those are the two options.
Same.
Maybe
that might be a good one.
I mean, that was Tahoe, right?
Every year it was Tahoe.
Yeah. So I guess there's the answer. 50K and hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
To follow up. So like you could run 30 miles and have 10 beers and 10 donuts. No, we get it. That was the next message. Oh, this is interesting. If you could only, I feel like this is something Frank Reynolds would ask.
I like that
Charlie
question.
Kelly.
The more and more I think about it, by the way.
Yeah.
That was just a good, fun question. Whoever asked that, I like that they asked that question.
If you could eat only one color of food for the rest of your life, what color would it be?
Tan.
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 You get
Easy
meat,
answer.
you get bread, you get pasta, you get rice.
Tan.
What
about you?
Yeah, tan.
Chicken almost could count. Like
I'm putting soy sauce or Szechuan sauce or something on all my veggies and turning them brown.
I had dated a girl years and years ago, and she said her favorite foods are tan. So as long as it's tan, I'm gonna like it. And I was like, that's a good point. Tan.
If I put it all inside of a burrito,
it ends up tan.
And close my eyes, all I'm seeing is the burrito.
What about what if it wasn't tan? Because tan is the right answer, folks. Like you can't say green, you can't say red, you can't. Those are two.
Red, maybe you could be pizza. Is pizza really red though?
No, the sauce is red.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a right answer after tan. I can't think of anything that would be universally like all right.
White. You could have rice. You could have noodles. You could have chicken. You could have pork.
Pork isn't white.
It's closer to white than anything
Chicken
else. If you're not.
Fish. Definitely could have fish.
Yeah, it's a type of tan beige white.
Yeah.
Light earth tones is what I'm choosing.
Yeah. Okay. White, I think, would be probably. You couldn't have much for veggies and fruits like jicama. You could do a little bit of that. You could cut the peel off your apple. Eat that.
Bananas.
Close enough. Oh man, we got this figured out.
Rice puffs and milk.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Important things here. Let's do one more, I think. One more. We got time for one more.
Blackout whitewater story.
If that's how you want to end.
No. Pass.
Oh, I would have liked to hear that.
All right, I'm gonna
pick one. We just get one.
Yeah. I'm looking for one good one.
Don't hurt yourself over there.
I think we should get to all these, honestly.
Okay.
All right, we're doing two. First of all, Peak Kirk versus Peak Brakken. Red Bull 400. Who wins?
Probably
the Red Bull 400 is like 100-ish meters of a gentle ramp up a grass slope up until the extreme ramp up for like 250 to 300 meters, 400 meters uphill, and it gets progressively steeper.
Think of like
that would be a great
jump.
meeting ground for us in our peak.
Like a ramp ski jump that you'd see on like the Olympic Games where they almost go straight down to start, and then they kick off a ramp. Think of like that grade at the top, but it's exactly a quarter mile, and it gets progressively steeper. I think the time is it's only 400 meters, and it's usually one in the 5 to 6 minute range for a quarter mile. Think about that. They're on their hand. Most people are on their hands and feet to finish that grade at top.
That time duration would be a good meeting of our ideal time distances. Mine's 4 minutes or less. Yours is probably closer to like between 5 and 9 minutes, somewhere in there, like peak running in college days. I'm not sure. The steepness probably matches us. I think that would have been a very good race. Both of us in a peak climbing.
It's a great question. I don't know. I would just veer towards you, like maybe when you're living in Colorado and doing that kind of training. I would assume that
if
you
it's
probably
me,
had the upper hand then.
It would have only been because of the terrain and the altitude I was living in at the time. Being an altitude runner would help then, and having access to mountains would definitely help.
My pre-Tahoe 20, I got to the top of that mountain in 9th.
Yeah.
And that for me, but I don't know what that would translate to 5 to 6 minutes at 45%, 50% grade at top. What kind of fitness is that?
This might be the most evenly matched race, distance and type we could possibly pull out.
Yeah, if you put Brakken and I into a 5 to 6 minute race on flat, or you put us into a 5 to 6 minute race at incline, I don't know where it would end up.
Yeah.
I
agree. Okay. Grayson Kilgore, good question. All right, final one. All right.
Yep.
When will we see the two of you do a doubles for High Rocks together? My honest guess, never. Never. Unfortunately.
I would say if we did, I would be willing. My ego could handle, like I brush up on the skill work. I train running how I want, and we show up and we do it for fun. And if I take a liking to it, I can further invest myself. But I would have no issues going and doing one quite unprepared on the appropriate systems work combined with the skill work. But I could easily get the skill work in and go do it for fun.
Yeah.
With you.
It's not the idea of it or how good would we be. That's not our question. It's simply scheduling. There are very few High Rocks opportunities. There's one in the Midwest. So for us to do one together, most likely we're going to have to fly. We're going to have to travel somewhere to do a doubles together, which isn't a non-starter. But then at that point, trying to find a venue and a time in this calendar that makes sense, not only to do it, but especially from Kirk's standpoint, to spend time working on that fitness rather than 5K or marathon. And from my standpoint, it can't be on Braden's race week, which he's going to race 20 some times this year. That's 20 some weekends right off the calendar. All right. So it's just,
I'm hearing a bunch of excuses.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying realistically, the answer is never. That's the smart move.
If Brakken came to me, folks, and said, hey, like this would be fun. We got into Chicago, come down, we'll do it. I would probably look forward to it and be excited about it. I would take 4 to 6 weeks and just make sure I'm good on the skill side of it. And probably get whooped initially, but I would probably look forward to it. I wouldn't say
doubles just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to set a record, but we'd be fine.
Yeah, I think so. All right, that's it. I guess maybe save some of those questions, Brakken, in case we want to do another one of these.
I'm going to screenshot them all right now.
You should. All right. Well, hopefully we kept you company for the first half to the majority of your long run, if this is when you're catching this. And next week, same time, same place.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening, guys.